When a woman begins to fall for you, she rarely delivers a grand cinematic speech to announce her feelings. Instead, her heart shifts in silence, and she begins to communicate through what can be described as micro shares. These are small, seemingly insignificant pieces of her day, her thoughts, or her history that she tosses out like breadcrumbs. To the untrained eye, these moments look like idle chatter or casual conversation, but they are actually high-level emotional invitations. She is testing the waters to see if you are a safe harbor for the more complex parts of her personality. By sharing these fragments, she is subtly gauging whether you are observant enough to notice and careful enough to protect what she's offering. This transition marks the end of the probationary period in a relationship. In the beginning, a woman is often in a defensive stance, testing your boundaries, checking your consistency, and seeing if your actions match your words. However, the moment she stops testing you and starts revealing her genuine vulnerabilities, the dynamic has fundamentally changed. She isn't just interested anymore. She is actively choosing you as her partner. This shift from a defensive posture to an open one is the ultimate green light. It means she has dismantled her walls and is handing you the keys to her private world, trusting that you won't mishandle the person she is behind the curtain. Understanding these 5 specific shares is the difference between being just another guy she dated and being the man she truly loves. Most men treat a text that says, "I miss you," as a simple, sweet pleasantry or even a routine part of dating. However, viewing it as just a casual habit is a major oversight that misses the psychological weight behind the words. For a woman, admitting she misses you is a significant emotional confession. From a young age, many women are socially and biologically conditioned to protect their emotional state and maintain a level of mystery or independence. When she explicitly tells you she misses you, she is breaking that guard. She is admitting that you have become a necessity in her life and that your absence creates a noticeable void. This isn't just a check-in. It is her acknowledging that you have successfully carved out a permanent, influential space inside her mind and heart. This admission is particularly powerful when it happens outside of your typical routine. If she reaches out after a grueling day at work or sends that message completely out of the blue when you haven't been talking, she is revealing that you are her reset button. She is essentially saying that in a world full of noise, you are the person she reaches for to find balance. It takes a high level of trust for a woman to admit she needs your presence, especially if she is typically independent or emotionally guarded. She is handing you a piece of her vulnerability, trusting that you won't take it for granted or see it as a sign of weakness. To truly capitalize on this moment, you have to move past the standard low-effort "miss you too" response. While that reply is polite, it does nothing to deepen the bond she just tried to build. Instead, you should aim to match her emotional depth by inviting her further into the conversation. A pro move is to respond with something like, "I've been thinking about you too. Tell me what's on your mind right now." By asking this, you are showing her that you aren't just hearing her words, but you are sensing her underlying mood. You are signaling that her vulnerability is safe with you and that you are willing to hold space for whatever she's feeling. This kind of response transforms a simple text into a bridge for a much deeper, more permanent connection. When a woman begins sharing her comfort world with you, she is doing much more than just making small talk about her tastes. She is essentially handing you a soul map, a private guide to how she functions when the rest of the world isn't watching. Most people in her life, like coworkers or casual acquaintances, only see her public persona. They might know what she likes to eat for lunch, but they don't know the specific song she plays on repeat when she's overwhelmed, the childhood movie she puts on to feel safe, or the exact comfort food she craves after a devastating day. These aren't just random preferences. They are her emotional survival tools and coping mechanisms. By letting you in on these details, she is revealing her most tender, unpolished edges and trusting you with the knowledge of how to soothe her. In psychology, this is a form of deep compartmentalization. Women often keep their most treasured personal pieces locked away to protect themselves from being misunderstood or judged. When she shares these favorites with you, she has officially reclassified you from a guest in her life to a permanent resident. She is giving you the manual to her heart and showing you exactly how to make her feel better when things go wrong. This is a high-level intimacy shift because she is showing you the person she is when she is most vulnerable and alone. She is betting on the fact that you will treat these details with the care they deserve rather than treating them like trivial facts. To truly honor this trust, you need to execute the pro move, which is all about active listening and delayed validation. It's one thing to acknowledge her favorite song in the moment she mentions it, but it's a completely different level of connection to bring it up 3 days later. If you send her a message saying, "I listened to that song you mentioned the other day, and I totally get why it means so much to you," you are signaling that you are a man who truly sees and values her. This small act of remembering proves that you weren't just waiting for your turn to speak. You were actually absorbing her essence. For a woman falling in love, being remembered in the quiet moments when you aren't together is the ultimate form of emotional security. When a woman's energy shifts, perhaps she goes quiet when you mention a female colleague, or she becomes subtly distant when you're interacting with others on social media. It is easy to mislabel this as toxic jealousy. However, in the context of a developing relationship, this isn't usually about a desire to control you. It is a profound expression of her fear of loss. Because she has begun to invest her heart in you, she feels emotionally exposed. That sudden change in her mood is her internal alarm system firing off, signaling that the safe space you've built together feels threatened. She isn't trying to be difficult. She is reacting to the fact that you now have the power to hurt her, and that realization makes her feel incredibly vulnerable. Most men make the mistake of reacting to this shift with frustration, or even worse, by teasing her to get a reaction. Using her insecurity as a joke or as leverage to feel powerful is a fast way to destroy the trust you've built. If she feels mocked for her feelings, she will likely retreat and begin to close off the parts of herself she was just starting to share. She isn't looking for a debate or a list of reasons why she's being irrational. What she is actually seeking is a confirmation of her status in your life. She needs to know that despite the presence of other people in the world, her position next to you is secure and non-negotiable. The pro move in this situation is to lean entirely into what we call the choice. Instead of getting defensive, you should proactively reassure her that she is the person you have intentionally selected above all others. You don't do this by arguing against her feelings, but by reinforcing her value. A simple, grounded statement like, "I want you to know that you're the only one I'm interested in," can instantly lower her defenses. When a woman feels truly chosen and secure in your commitment, she doesn't feel the need to be possessive or hypervigilant. Instead, that nervous energy transforms into a fierce, unwavering loyalty because she finally feels safe enough to stop worrying about losing you. When a woman opens the vault and shares her deepest secrets, she is engaging in what psychologists call vulnerability reciprocity. This isn't just about sharing information, it's an exchange of power. Whether she's telling you about an embarrassing childhood memory, a professional failure she keeps hidden, or a deep-seated fear she's never voiced, she is essentially handing you a weapon that could be used to hurt her. By revealing these unpolished parts of her history, she is betting her emotional safety on your character. In a typical friendship, this level of disclosure can take years to develop, but when a woman is falling in love, her heart fast-tracks the process. She is testing whether you can handle the weight of her reality without turning away or looking at her differently. The gravity of this moment is often lost on men who immediately jump into fix-it mode. When she shares a past trauma or a current insecurity, your instinct might be to offer a solution or minimize the event to make her feel better by saying things like, "It wasn't that bad," or "Here's what you should do next time." However, doing this actually shuts down the connection. She isn't looking for a consultant, she's looking for a witness. When you try to fix her past, you accidentally send the message that her feelings are a problem to be solved rather than a part of her to be accepted. This can make her regret being open and cause her to lock the vault back up. The pro move is to resist the urge to give advice and instead provide pure, non-judgmental presence. A simple, grounded response like, "I'm really glad you felt safe enough to tell me that," is incredibly powerful. It validates her courage without trying to change her story. By following up with a genuine interest in her darker or more complicated sides, you show her that her secrets haven't pushed you away. They've actually made you more attracted to her. When she realizes that her deepest vulnerabilities only make you want her more, she stops feeling like she has to perform and starts feeling like she can truly belong with you. The most significant thing a woman shares with you often isn't a spoken secret or a hidden story. It is her raw, unpolished image. In a world dominated by filters, perfect lighting, and curated social media profiles, a woman's public appearance is her armor. When she decides to send you a selfie with no makeup, messy, just woke up hair, or in her oversized pajamas at home, she is intentionally dropping that armor. This isn't just a casual photo, it is a profound act of trust. She is showing you the version of herself that the rest of the world is strictly forbidden from seeing. By doing this, she is trading her vanity for your validation, betting that you will find her beautiful even when she isn't performing for the public eye. Psychologically, this is a massive leap into emotional intimacy. For many women, the pressure to look put together is constant. So showing her natural state is a way of testing if you are truly attracted to her or just the polished version of her. When she sends these unfiltered photos, she is inviting you into her most private, unguarded space, her home and her true self. She is essentially saying, "This is the real me, and I'm trusting you not to judge what I see in the mirror." If she feels safe being imperfect around you, her emotional connection to you will deepen faster than through almost any other gesture. To handle this moment correctly, you have to avoid the trap of giving a generic, automatic compliment. The pro move here is to be incredibly specific with your praise to show her that you recognize the gift she just gave you. Instead of a standard, "you look good," use a phrase that creates an emotional anchor, such as, "I love when you send me these. This is actually my favorite version of you." By telling her that her natural, unfiltered state is your favorite, you are stripping away her insecurities and replacing them with a sense of total acceptance. That one specific sentence validates her in a way she will remember for years, making her feel more beautiful and more connected to you than any perfect photo ever could.